Welcome back to Tiara Speaks Dog. Today I want to talk to you about graciousness. What is graciousness? I honestly had to look it up. I had an idea that it had a positive connotation, knew it had something to do with kindness, but graciousness, loosely, when somebody think of someone as gracious, someone who is gracious, you think of someone who is thoughtful, someone who's kind, somebody who's courteous, patient. Somebody who understands that they aren't the only individual sharing the world with everybody else. Now, here's the interesting question. Can dogs be gracious? I think they can. I think dogs can do a lot more than we even understand that they can do. I think they can be gracious, but I don't think it comes naturally for every dog. But they can absolutely learn it. So when we raise children, we raise them to be good citizens, right? I am a canine good citizen evaluator, which means that naturally I want the dogs to know how to behave around other people and dogs. We have to teach them that. When we raise children, we don't expect them to magically know how to behave around other people. We teach them, say please, say thank you, don't interrupt, wait your turn, keep your hands to yourself. Those aren't instincts. Actually, a lot of the times the instinct is to do the exact opposite. But those are called social skills, right? Dogs need to learn those lessons too. The difference is most owners never stop to ask themselves what a polite dog actually looks like. We know what a polite human greeting looks like. And we know what a polite dog to human greeting looks like, right? Don't jump, don't mouth, don't knock grandma over, right? Easy enough. But what does a polite greeting between two dogs look like? Do you know? If your answer is they should just work it out, while that's true, it's not really a good answer, especially when you're the one managing a pack of dogs, right? Because dogs have to have etiquette too. Dogs often approach each other in curves instead of charging straight ahead, which is the exact opposite of what humans do. We charge straight ahead. We grab hands. Hey, how you doing? It's polite to make eye contact. Now, with dogs, it's almost the polar opposite. Do not approach a dog in a straight line. Do not have your head high, giving all these assertive moves. Do not grab me. Do not stare at me, right? They want to go straight for the butt. All of the information is at the butt. Name, rank, serial number, it's at the butt, okay? They give each other some space. They look away to diffuse tension. They sniff, they pause. They communicate constantly through body language. If you've never read Calming Signals by Turid Rugas, I highly recommend it. It changes the way you will think about how dogs interact with each other. And once you learn what politeness looks like between dogs, then you can start teaching it to your own dog. And this is where the visualization point becomes so important. Don't ask yourself, how do I stop my dog from doing that? Instead, ask, what would a gracious dog do here? Right? If another dog is barking from behind a fence, a gracious dog doesn't feel obligated to bark back. If an off-leash dog comes charging over, a gracious dog doesn't have to rush out to settle the disagreement. They come back to the handler. If another dog is drinking water, a gracious dog doesn't hover over the bowl, making everybody uncomfortable. If another dog walks into the room, a gracious dog does not stare them down. Those aren't behaviors that magically appear. Somebody has to teach them. I watch a little French bulldog named Bentley every now and again. After one of her boarding stays, her dad asked me something that really kind of stuck with me and was the inspiration for this episode, actually. He said, she doesn't growl or fight with the other dogs at your house? And I smiled and I was like, no. And then he almost looked disappointed, as if they were doing something wrong at home, right? But that's not really what's happening. What's actually happening is that Bentley doesn't never think another dog is annoying. She actually thinks a lot of dogs are annoying. She's a dog. She's a Frenchie. It's just that I manufacture politeness in my home. If someone stares too hard at another dog, I'm going to interrupt it. If somebody begins hovering over a water bowl or over toys, I call them away. And if somebody starts following another dog, just trying to make them uncomfortable, I will redirect that. If two dogs just don't like each other, that's fine. That's cool. You don't have to like everybody, but you do have to be respectful. I'll handle the disagreements. You don't need to handle those. That's the environment I want every dog living in. Not because they're scared of me, right? Because they simply know how to treat one another in my house. One thing about modern life is that we're becoming faster and faster to judge. Scrolling through social media, we read a sentence, we watch 10 seconds of a clip, and we already think we know exactly what's going on there and decide that it's, you know, okay to comment and be negative. You're making a snap judgment, right? Dogs can be surprisingly similar. All it takes is one hard stare, one rude greeting, one collision, even though accidental, and suddenly everybody is making assumptions about everybody else. Well, part of being gracious is slowing down, looking for another explanation, giving someone the opportunity to make a better choice. As handlers, we should do the same. Remember, slow to anger, rich in patience, less fear, more faith. Because our emotional state becomes part of the environment that our dogs are learning from. And at the end of the day, dogs don't automatically grow into polite members of society. We create them. Somebody has to build that dog. Somebody has to picture what kindness, courtesy, patience, and good manners look like. Then teach them one interaction at a time. So here's my challenge for you this week. Instead of asking, how do I stop this behavior? Ask, what would the gracious version of my dog do instead? And then become the architect of that dog. Because gracious dogs don't happen by accident. They're built.